On the next episode of New York Caribbean, meet Dave Wakeling of legendary ska band, The English Beat, and find out how the music of the Caribbean influenced their iconic sound, right here on New York Caribbean. New York Caribbean gives you the very best of island culture in the Big Apple.
Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Anthony Gethers, and we're in New Caribbean. Tonight we're here at the Highland Ballroom with, of course, Dave Wakeling from the English Beat.
Pretending it's the Caribbean, it's New York. Freezing!
Freezing as hell out there.
Really cold.
We're going to talk about, obviously, the fact that you're on tour.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of the things I noticed that when I see you originally, you've changed your lineup. You still have younger guys now.
Well, it's just that I'm getting older.
Okay.
They just all die out and then you replace them.
Alright.
It's been a bit... we've had the same lineup for about 2 or 3 years now, I think. So, but they are younger.
Okay.
You got to get the right combination, like a soccer team, football team. Right combination of youth and experience.
Got it. Okay, let's talk about what were you listening into your house growing up? Obviously, the show's called New York Caribbean. It's really about Caribbean music, Caribbean influence, Caribbean life. But obviously, with ska influence, we know that ska and punk at some point melded.
Yes.
You know, well, punk and reggae at some point melded to create ska, and that in turn, of course, brings in the English beat. So, growing up, what were you listening in your house back growing up in the UK?
Well, my first taste of the offbeat was the Trojan Tighten Up albums, which we first heard at football games.
Okay.
So that would have been in the early 70s,
Yes.
72, 73.
Okay.
So I was 15, 16, something like that.
Okay.
Going to football games and hearing this music.
Okay.
They used to play it to keep the skinheads happy, so they wouldn't fight. Give them something to do instead of fighting, you know?
Okay.
And it was at a time where we were meeting really the first set of Caribbean people that were settling in Birmingham, you know, late 50s, in the early 60s, and then their kids were now kind of our age. Okay. So there was this Jim English, they called themselves at the time, you know. No, I mean, mate, Jim English. And there were some similarities, like the sort of smart, rude boy suits that were popular in Jamaica were kind of similar to the mod suits, the mohair suits that the mods were wearing. And I think that's where the first connection came, really. It seemed to be. And it was odd, really, that it's starting on the football terraces in the 70s, because by the 80s there was all this sort of right-wing skinhead stuff starting up. Which was very odd because they were still dancing to ska and reggae anyway. Yeah,
that is true. So I watched a documentary about that, and they were pointing out how these skinheads, they had their, I guess their racist viewpoints, but then they would go to a party at night and they're bouncing to ska and ska, dub and reggae.
Skinheads had been dancing to ska for over a decade by that time. It was just really some opportunists, a lot of unemployment. A lot of desperate kids on the football terraces, and they'd try and talk them into outward bound kind of camping weekend courses, but it turned out they were like training them in street tactics for race war.
Yes. You know. Okay. You founded the band with Andy Cox.
Yep.
David Steele. When did Ranking Roger show up?
Me and Andy found David, then the three of us found Everett, and then we started doing shows. And then Roger first showed up as a member of the crowd and came on stage and started toasting, and the crowd liked it. And we'd only got one microphone, so we had to wait till he'd stopped so we could carry on.
Come on, buddy, bring it back.
Yep, and so then and then Saxa joined us, and then Blockhead on keyboards.
And he was the oldest member of the band. Wasn't he like 90 when he showed up on the scene?
He was 58, but he acted like he was 90. Yes. He just recently passed this year, earlier this year.
Okay.
He was 90 then.
Wow.
And we realised that when we met him, he's about the same age as we all are now, you know, late 50s, early 60s. And every time we would go out with him, we always felt like we were young, you know, because he'd be like, you young wise, you know. And we realised when he passed, not only we weren't young boys anymore, because he wasn't there to call us young boys, but we were now him. We'd become him, we were his age. We're like, oh God, thank you, Saxa. You died and I'll become you. Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Coming up, the very best in Caribbean entertainment and so much more, right here on New York Caribbean.
We are Fishbone, and you're watching New York Caribbean.
Now, in reference to your career movements, where is it that from the point in time that you became popular in England, but then you all of a sudden made a big impression in the United States? When was that point where it clicked in, and what year was it, and what song was it?
Well, I think more than a song, I think it was MTV.
Okay, so MTV literally, the whole video age.
Yes, I think that's what it was. And again, we stood out a little bit, you know, first thing on MTV with black and white people on the screen at the same time in the band.
You're right about that, 'cause at some point they weren't, MTV, I remember that period of time was doing all, pretty much hair metal, a lot of 80s rock, but there were no black bands, and they weren't doing hip hop, and they weren't doing a lot of black music.
No, that's right.
So the fact that you actually were able to walk in and then come in with something interesting and different.
Open the doors at least, yes.
Okay.
I think that was the start. We were college radio darlings, but it was more, I think, MTV that launched it out wide.
Sure. Okay, let's have a little gear talk. The guitar that you play, you've been playing it for many years. What is the name? And obviously you're a lefty musician, so there's only a handful of you guys out there.
Yeah.
If you think about the lefties, we're talking Hendrix, Paul McCartney.
I'm even worse. I'm left and upside down. There's only three of us. I think Dick Dale and one blues guy.
So why did you choose that instrument? And I'm assuming you're endorsed by them at this point.
No.
Oh, you're not?
No.
No endorsement?
No, I don't like him. I picked it because Brian Jones played a Vox Teardrop, and I wanted to be Brian Jones.
Okay.
So I had an AC30 amp and a Vox Teardrop guitar.
Okay.
And now I've
all
got,
because Brian Jones actually played it, and that was the reason why you...
That's the whole reason.
Now, did you like how it sounded, or was it because Brian Jones was playing it?
A bit of both, I think.
Okay.
A bit of both, I think. I just liked him. I mean, Keith Richards played one sometimes, of two that I have on stage at the moment. One's an exact copy of Brian Jones's, and the other one's the exact copy of Keith Richards.
Got it.
One's got 3 pickups and a whammy bar on for the lead one.
Awesome.
I just like the shape of them, and they kind of look like a lute or a heart or a teardrop. I mean, called a teardrop, I thought, you know, as my guitar gently weeps, and it's teardrop shaped.
Do they still make them?
They made like a 50-year edition or something a few years ago, but I don't think they make them regularly now.
Okay. So that is your mainstay. I noticed that you do have a Telecaster.
Yeah, that one I got from my first ever record deal, 1979, with Arista.
Oh wow!
They took us out to buy us a guitar afterwards, and still got it.
Was a rough rider, solid grinder. As we started to wind, and then a hard night.
The very best in Caribbean entertainment and so much more, right here on New York Caribbean.
What's going on? It's your girl Estelle, and you are watching New York Caribbean.
So where are you now when it comes down to you got these younger guys? Describe some of your members. There's King Sasha.
Activate the movement and no stand up like no statue on no block. None of that. Time is ticking on the clock.
It's me again, man, the boy in the building, man, Sasha. Right now I am the current toaster for the legendary English beat, starring Dave Wakeling.
Where did you find him?
Well, he found me, really. He's from San Diego.
Getting involved with Dave Wakeling and the English beat start when September 2014, Dave make a post on Facebook, yo, I'm looking for a new toaster.
And we're starting to make quite a big name in the San Diego scene.
You know, they see the post, you know, I wasn't friends with Dave Wakeling, and they see the post and then they say, yo, Dave, you need King Sasha. King Sasha, you know, he's living in San Diego and he's tearing up the local scene in San Diego. And then when they tag my name in there and then they post it, they share the post and like, other people start seeing the post and they say, yo, everybody starts saying, yo, you need King Sasha.
And my bass player and drummer are from there as well, so we're down in San Diego a lot. Okay. We're bumped into each other and it's a natural fit.
Right, you know, and then from there I actually messaged Dave and it went on, and from September, my first show with the English Beat was January 15th, 2015. You know, we played the Roxy, California, Roxy in Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood in California. Was my first show with the Beat. So, and from there, I still on the stage till today.
He's from Trinidad.
Yes.
Don't hold that against him.
I was born and raised in Trinidad and Tobago, man. The struggle is real. So being involved with the English Beat kind of, you know, it keep me on stage a lot, so it keep my vocals kind of fresh. You know, and then it's like, if you check out the show tonight, it's like, you know, I have a lot of parts where I'm putting in off the top of my head, and it's like, I try to keep it different every night, so like the people get something fresh. You know, so it's like, and that kind of helped me with my skills too when it comes to writing, because, you know, at the drop of a dime, I know I had to be like, boom, bam, bam, you know.
Baby, it seems just like yesterday. Amazing that a mojo never went away. So far away, I wanna take you away to the end of the earth where Columbus never sailed. No way to explain how I feel inside. No way to explain how I feel when I see you smile. Never can I take the pain when I see you cry. Oh, I ask, oh, why? Please let me know they are tears of joy. One tear of joy brings 7 years of joy. Oh yes, my girl, you are my world. I can't wait to see how this love unfolds. Even when it's cold, you're so brave, so bold. Is this what love gonna be like when we're old? Am I at the end of a rainbow? Is this a pot of gold? Let's take a ride, baby, never to lose control. One day we gonna run away. You and me, we gonna be okay. One day we gonna see the light. You by my side, my joy, my bride. One day, hardships that we go through. Seeing my future without you is blue. I've been around but love never felt so true. So tried, so true, oh yes girl I love you. Never will I place anyone above you. With you by my side easy it is to live life. Hoping one joyous day you will be my wife. Only for you I set aside my pride. I wait in the day I can call you my bride. You are my empress, my queen, my girl most precious than gold. Oh, how I love keeping you warm when the nights are cold. Girl, you know I love how you kiss and caress me. Knowing everything about you is dearest to me. I wanna whisper in your ear, I wanna tickle your fancy under the moonlight. Baby, let's go dancing. One day we gonna run away. You and me, we gonna be okay. One day we gonna see the light. You by my side, my joy, my bride. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Girl, you know, girl, I know. Together we've been in this love, watching it grow. And I know you know how I love you so. I love your smile, your beauty, oh my God, your glow. Girl, you know, girl, I know, I can never be complete without you. Nor will I trust another like I trust you deep down inside. All I want is you. You in my life, only the skies are blue. Knowing everything that you say is so true. Only you, my friend, say I should wed you. Mama also said the same thing too. Well, girl, what am I supposed to do? Knowing you and only you can be so true. But stand by your side.
Coming up, the very best in Caribbean entertainment and so much more, right here on New York Caribbean.
Well, greetings from the king, 'cause love is all I bring. And this is Sprague Benz, I make the party them at swing. Well, watching, this is Sprague Benz, and you're watching New York Caribbean. Keep it locked right here, yeah? Red Square. Up.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're back to New York Caribbean. I'm here with Dave Wakeling of the English Beat, and we're continuing a cool interview here at the High Line Ballroom.
Yeah, we're living the high life at the High Line.
Rocking it out. So here you are still doing this shit. Do you love doing it, or is it at the point where you feel that it's something in your blood that you have to do it, or this is all you know?
All of those.
Yeah.
It's about the happiest I ever get when it's going right on stage.
Okay.
It's one of the few places in life where I feel like I'm in control, that I know what I'm doing, and that I can get into a flow and maintain it.
Okay.
And that's a nice thing to have something in life that you can do that with, because life's pretty turbulent otherwise.
Yeah.
I've actually got a bit better at it.
Okay.
I sing better now, I don't get sore throats, I can make all the notes.
Okay.
I can't do anything else, or if I could, I haven't lent my hand to it recently, and gardening's about the only other thing that I really enjoy.
So. Could you make an income at gardening?
Probably,
that would be
actually, you could actually nowadays, you can.
Okay. You. Awesome.
Nowadays, you probably make more than being in a group, but it's in my blood. It's what I've done for 40 years. I don't know how much longer I'll get the opportunity to do it, so I just enjoy it while I can. We've been working a bit hard the last couple of years because we wanted to push ourselves around and let everybody know that there's a new record coming out in next spring. Here We Go, Love. And we set ourselves up for that. We had a couple of new songs and put them in the set. People started asking for a CD of it. You know, oh, can I buy a CD with that new one on? So they're like, all right, we'll make one now then.
In reference to making a new record, are there any artists out there that you would love to do a collaboration with?
No.
None whatsoever?
No. Well, I'd sing a song.
I think you guys are about to go on, actually.
I'd sing a song with Boy George.
Would you really?
Yeah, I like him.
Boy George?
He's a great voice as well. He's a smashing voice. But no, I don't really go for this collaborating stuff much. It's like
we're now officially putting an end to our interview. So I want to give a big shout out to Dave Wakeling of English Beat for being on with us tonight. Thank you very much for having an awesome experience. It's great. There it is. See you later.
Tune in every Thursday night for a new episode of Near Caribbean right here on One Caribbean Television. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thanks for watching Near Caribbean.